Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be checking out the PeirHW 2-in-1 refrigerator / air conditioner. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what's going on. Alright, so before I open up this package, I want to show you the website on my phone. So that way we can both be kind of prepared for what to expect if you were to actually buy this thing. So let's go ahead and look at the website. First of all, you can see right here at the very top it says Chill, Freeze, Cool, the world's first outdoor 2-in-1 air conditioner / freezer. Now I'm kind of confused because it says freezer on the website, but right here it says refrigerator / air conditioner. So I don't know what the range of the cooler inside can do. Can it be a refrigerator and a freezer or just a freezer? So we'll see when we actually test it. If we scroll down, you can see that it's launching soon on Kickstarter. It does say true freezing down to -4 degrees Fahrenheit or -20 degrees Celsius. Powerful cooling, which means that it can actually cool down to 61 degrees Fahrenheit up to 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's see, it says the PeirHW 2-in-1 AC and freezer, multi-power system. It has a 40-liter cooler / freezer inside. So it's a pretty good size compartment for your freezing needs. It also says it's extremely portable. It has wheels on it and it says that they're all terrain. A 2-in-1 cooling AC freezer, fridge, one device to replace your bulky setup. I think that's kind of odd, but whatever. It does say it has a Panasonic compressor. Now those are really on high-end 12-volt coolers, so that kind of makes me feel pretty good about the quality of this product. Yeah, rugged all-terrain wheels. Says true freezing power, no melted ice, no soggy food. That is great for any powered cooling unit, like a food cooler. Ultimate cold retention beyond freezing, locking the cold in. PeirHW provides genuine AC cooling, not just airflow. Better rest longer and enjoy real comfort outdoors. And it does show the picture with it being in a tent and blowing the air into the tent. And this picture kind of makes me wonder, how are they powering this thing? And we'll probably get to that lower down. Precision at your fingertips. It says it has memory touchpad with auto restore. So if the power goes out on the unit, it will automatically go back to what it was prior to the outage. Let's see, it says 40-liter storage for boundless exploration. Then it also says stay cool, keep frozen, enjoy the journey. It's kind of just saying more about what it is. Let's see, and it does show a picture right here of fruits and vegetables. So that kind of does tell me that it is a refrigerator and not just a freezer. True air conditioning anywhere. It provides down to from 61 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit or 16 to 30 degrees Celsius. Not just airflow, but an actual air conditioner. Powerfully cool, library quiet. It says that it runs it says that it runs at 40 decibels when it's on like quiet mode and 50 decibels when it's on max mode. Let's see, universal architecture, adaptive inputs. So that means that you can plug it into a AC wall outlet, a power station, which is kind of like a portable AC outlet, or a 48-volt DC power. So I'm wondering if I could wire this directly to a 51.2-volt lithium iron phosphate battery. And then that's the end. So, and then you can sign up for this and you can get 20% off on Kickstarter when available. So let's go ahead and open this up and see what it actually entails. All right, let's set this thing on the floor. All right, when first opening it up, it looks like the packaging is really good. It's got nice thick styrofoam. There is no styrofoam on the sides or on any really of the sides, just like this framework on the top and it sits in styrofoam on the bottom. All right, here's the unit, and then there is another box underneath that, which I'm guessing is probably the power supply and maybe a hose if we need water drainage. I don't know. Okay, so getting this thing out of the box, you can see here is the side view right here, and there are no distinguishing markings on manufacturer or anything. We do have some vents right here for airflow. There is also a port right here. It's covered, and it is an XT60 port. So I don't know if that's for input or some sort of output, but we'll find out. There are these wheels right here, and they're like solid rubber wheels, which is pretty nice. I was expecting to have like that hard plastic wheel, but it's actually like a soft rubber wheel. Not soft rubber, but like a hard rubber wheel. All right, when looking at the front, we do see that there is a large, probably intake vent right here, because I can see coils back there for the air conditioning. And then we have our display screen right here with soft buttons on each side. It looks like there is this side for the refrigerator freezer and this side for the air conditioner. And I'm just going by the little symbols at the top. And it also does say PeirHW right there on the top. All right, this side is the same as the other side. It doesn't have any kind of distinguishing markings. And when it comes to the back, again, it's just nice and clean. I do like the color scheme, the red, black, and chrome finish. It does look pretty stylish, so I give that a plus. So let's go ahead and see if there's anything inside the unit. Okay, opening it up for the first time, we have, a bag. A bag full of stuff, and it looks like actual extension vents and stuff like that. So we'll put that to the side, and that is it. Looking on the inside, this is a metal casing right here. It's not plastic. The bottom feels like it is plastic, and it looks like there is a drain down there as well, which is nice. And also, if you look right here, I think there's a light. So that's also a plus as well, so you can see what's going on when it's dark outside. And it is nice and deep. It does say 40 liters, but if you measure it out, it is to the bottom of the rim. It looks like to be 14 inches deep right there. And it's about a little over 9 inches across in this direction. And this direction, it's probably around a foot, so 12 inches. And if you care about diagonal, it looks to be about a little over 14 inches. Actually, it looks to be about 14 inches diagonal. Also, the lid, if you see the lid, it is like a soft close, so you don't have to worry about it slamming down. And it looks like it doesn't latch at all. It just kind of falls in place. So there's no latch at all. And then here are the vents, and you can see that they are adjustable almost to a 90-degree up, and then when you close them all the way down, these are almost closed. These two are practically closed, and this one are up just a little bit. Okay, let's go ahead and open up this bag that came in the cooling compartment of the unit. All right, and it looks like we do have some sort of bracket that connects to the unit to run our hose or our vent. We have an extendable vent right here, along with what looks to be a drain hose right here. We have another extendable hose. And these hoses look like their outer diameter is 5 inches, and their inner diameter is around probably 4.5 inches. And then we have another bracket right here, which looks like it probably connects to somewhere here or something. I don't know. We'll find out. And then we have an AC power cord. And it is your typical standard cord, which is nice. So if you lose it, you can pick these up anywhere. They're a standard for pretty much all computers. So very nice to see a standard AC cord right here. And then we have the user's manual. So far, very complete. I don't feel like there's anything missing, but again, we will find out as we go on. All right, next, let's open up this box that came in the packaging. All right, and when you open up this box, you do get a power brick, and this thing is substantial. But it does look like it is it's going to convert your AC to 48 volt DC. Right here you plug in your standard AC outlet, and on the other side is an XT60 output. And on here it does say that it inputs 100 or 240 volts at 7 amps, and the output is 48 volts at 11.5 amps or 552 watts. So a substantial power brick right here. All right, well, before I go any further, I'm going to go ahead and take the time to read over this manual so that way I can be a little bit more informed on what comes next. All right, well, I went ahead and did a once over of the PeirHW units user's manual, and the user's manual is not really that long. It's only a few pages, and it goes into good detail about the display. It also talks a lot about the usage notes and what you should know about that. And then it also goes into, the error codes and, if something's wrong with it, here's what you should do to kind of alleviate that. It also talks about the warranty information, which it does say it has a 3-year warranty from the date of purchase. The things that it does not talk about are any of these accessories that we got and how they connect to the unit. So let me go ahead and just show you real quick where these all go. If you're going to be using this like in a tent and you want to use these extendable hoses to run air where you want, or to escape the hot air from the AC unit outside the tent. So first of all, this bigger rectangle kind of one, it will go right on the out vent of the AC unit. And when I said before that these didn't shut all the way, they definitely do. I just kind of had to push them down a little bit more. And so they do completely shut, which is nice. But what you want to do is kind of open them up all the way, and then just set these brackets down and have these orange buttons towards the front of the unit. Push them in and it should lock into place. And then now you have, you can put that vent hose on here and you can direct the air out, the cool air out to wherever you want. Now this other piece right here, it actually goes on the left side of the unit. And my guess is, without even turning this thing on yet, this is where all the hot air is going to be blown out. So this just easily goes down here, and then you just kind of press these little tabs down and it clicks into place. Again, giving you a nice vent area to expel all the hot air from the air conditioner. It also does come with this drain hose. The drain hose looks to be probably about 36 inches, about a yard, or about 36 inches long. And if you look at the bottom of the unit, there is a drain port right here, and you could easily just push it in. And then that way you have, another 36 inches of hose to work with for the drainage of the water. Okay, so let's go ahead and power this thing on. I'm going to go and first use the power brick AC adapter. And the reason for that is because this unit did not come with a direct connection wire for 48 volt batteries. It only comes with this big brick with the XT60 connector and the AC connector that connects to this. So there's no battery terminal to XT60 connector that came with this unit. But we will be trying that out in a little bit. I do have one of those wires, and I will put a link in the description if you do want to purchase one of those wires. In the manual, it does kind of have specific instructions on how to plug in this unit, and it basically says always plug in to the unit before powering on, before connecting it directly to the battery or plugging it into your AC source. All right, and our power source for this test is going to be this Opus 1500 right here. It does say that this power brick pulls about 550 watts altogether, 552 watts. But I wanted to make sure and get a power station that can handle it just fine. I'm also going to go ahead and use this kilowatt meter, so that way if there's any discrepancy between the two screens, we can see that as well. So let's go ahead and plug this in, and this thing should start right up. All right, when I first plugged it in, the screen kind of lit up for a second, and I do hear maybe a condenser fan going on right now. And we are using 12 watts, and actually the watt meter shows about 9 watts being pulled out. So let's go ahead and turn this thing on by pressing the power button. There we go. And it is already set for 16 or 17 degrees Celsius on the refrigerator side and 16 degrees Celsius on the air conditioning side. So when you first power it on, both sides will be on. If you only want one side on, I believe like if we wanted to turn off the refrigerator freezer, we could just hold this down for like 4 seconds and it turns off that side. And then if we want to turn it back on, you just hold it and it turns it back on. Same with this side. And now only the refrigerator freezer is on. And if we hold this side, you can see that it does not turn it off. The power button turns the whole unit off, but if you have the unit on, one side or the other always has to be on. So let's go ahead and let's just do the whole thing. And if we look at our power consumption, it looks like we're using 252 watts, but it is quickly climbing. Over here, it does say 285, 287, so they're roughly the same. All right, I've got this Tesman clamp meter right here, and it shows 71 degrees Fahrenheit and 21.7 degrees Celsius. Let's go ahead and put this probe right here on the AC. All right, and that has gotten down to 52 degrees Fahrenheit or 11.2 degrees Celsius. And that is with the probe right inside the unit. That's pretty cool. Oh my gosh, it's gone down again to 49 degrees Fahrenheit and 9.6 degrees Celsius. So the AC part of it is working really well. It's still going down, 8.6 degrees Celsius and 47.4 degrees Fahrenheit. That's impressive. That's some very cool air. In our basement right now, like I said, it's probably around 70 degrees Fahrenheit. That's over a 20-degree difference in temperature. And for AC units, that's kind of what you want, is a 20 to 25 degree Fahrenheit difference from the ambient air to what is being pushed out of the AC unit. So right on the mark. And again, it went down again, 45 degrees Fahrenheit, 7.5 degrees Celsius. So the AC unit is working very well, and it is still going down. I'm just going to leave this here, and we'll see how low it actually gets. And I was mistaken before when I said when the unit first turned on, those were the settings of what it was set at. Those were the temperatures of the ambient temperature of the unit. So the AC, it was set at 16 degrees, but over here, the fridge freezer it said 17 when I first turned it on, but you can see that it's dropped down to 2 degrees Celsius right now. And if we press the up and down arrow, it is actually set for negative 19 degrees Celsius. When it comes to all the buttons on the front, you do have a lock button right here, so you can actually lock the touch panel of the unit so kids can't come over here and adjust stuff. Right here is the up and down section for the refrigerator freezer. This right here is if you press it for 3 to 4 seconds, it will turn off that side. So it will turn off the fridge freezer. Here is a timer button, so it will go in 1 hour increments up to 12 hours, and then the AC unit will shut off. So that's why it's on the AC side. But the refrigerator will always stay on. The refrigerator has nothing to do with this timer section right here. This button right here is the AC on and off. This is your main power button. Right here is your fan control. So you can adjust how high the fan is going. It's either 1, 2, or 3 bars. And then here is your plus and minus for the temperature of your AC side. Right now it's at its lowest setting, but you can make it go up. And if we look at our power bank, we are pulling 400 watts of electricity. This one does say 403, that one says 405, so they're right on mark. So that is actually pretty impressive for an air conditioner and a cooler. Let's see what happens when we turn off the refrigerator side and only the AC side is on. Let's see if it affects the power consumption. So let's go ahead and turn off the refrigerator. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes. The refrigerator side has been completely off, only the AC, and yeah, we're still pulling 430 watts. So 430 watts just from the AC unit. So let's go ahead and turn on the refrigerator freezer, and we'll have to do that by first pressing the lock button. And then let's go ahead and turn on the refrigerator freezer. Have it set to negative 19 degrees Celsius, and we'll turn off the AC side. So it looks like just to use the refrigerator freezer, you're going to be looking at about 200 watts, 200 to 250 watts. Right now, currently it does say that inside the unit it is negative 5 degrees Celsius. But again, let's go ahead and use our Tesman and put the probe in there and compare. All right, well, the unit has shut off, and it does show that it is almost negative 15 degrees. This shows negative 19. But I do notice this is taking a temperature of the ambient air inside. If I actually open this up and press the probe up against the wall, it quickly goes down, to match the temperature that's inside. So this temperature is pretty much the outer wall, not really the ambient air inside, but they should equalize after a bit. And with this thing just sitting here, it's kind of just maintaining the negative 16 degrees Celsius. It still looks like it's pulling about 4 watts. So it will still pull a little bit of wattage, even though it looks like it's completely turned off. And that might be just because of the display that's on. All right, the next thing I want to see is, what if you don't want this as a freezer? What if you want it as a cooler? Let's see how high it can actually go. So you got to hold the lock button, and then let's go ahead and start increasing this. And if you hold it down, it goes up pretty quick, and it goes up to 10 degrees Celsius. So that's perfect. This thing goes up to 10 degrees Celsius, which is 50 degrees Fahrenheit, which is actually on the warmer side of a refrigerator. Usually refrigerators run between 40 and 45 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, putting on the extendable hoses is pretty easy. You just have to extend it out a little bit and screw it in. No big deal. So you'll want at least one of these hoses connected, because you will want either the cool AC air going into your tent or the warm AC air blowing out of your tent if this is going to be inside your tent, which would make more sense. When it comes to the filter screens on this unit, it looks like this vent right here, which I believe is just a regular air intake. I believe the vent is, or the screen is permanent. On the front here, there is a removable screen, but it's, I feel like it's kind of flimsy. You just have to pull these two down. And first of all, it sounds like it kind of drags against the fins. And then the screen itself is 2 separate screens. And they feel a little flimsy. So just to keep that in consideration. And then putting it back in, you just slide it back in after you vacuum it or wash it off. But again, it just feels a little, the plastic feels a little flimsy because it's supposed to kind of flex, but I just kind of feel like I'm gonna break this filter every time I take it in and out. So I don't think it's something you want to do very often. Yeah, I'm having a lot of problems just getting this thing back in. There we go, and now it's back in, but it was kind of a struggle. And then on the AC heat output side, again, it does look like the screen is permanent. So the only one that you can take out and clean is the one on the front. So what do I think of this PeirHW AC and fridge freezer combo all in one unit? Well, it's actually a really good idea for people that like to go camping in a tent, or even in an RV if you have a window where you can, put one of those vents out. I know that people are going to say that this unit should have an intake and an output vent, so that way it doesn't put negative pressure or positive pressure in the room, but that's just how the unit's built. The idea of this, especially in a tent or an RV, is actually great. The 40-liter ice chest that is on the unit is big enough to hold plenty of food for 2 people, and how it's adjustable from a freezer all the way up to a 50-degree Fahrenheit refrigerator is a very nice plus. And then on top of that, there is an AC unit. So again, if you want to have cold air in either your tent or your RV, this unit will do that as well. Some of the gripes that I have about this unit, and they're actually pretty small. First of all, controlling the unit, so far I only noticed that you can control it in Celsius. Now, being in the United States, we all use Fahrenheit. But anywhere else in the world, besides maybe a couple other countries, they use Celsius, so I can't complain about it too much. And technology nowadays, I can easily figure out what the difference is between Celsius and Fahrenheit. Another thing, the lock screen button, especially like in this demonstration, I kept having to unlock the screen. In real life scenario uses, you won't be doing it that much. But just remember that the screen does lock automatically after 60 seconds of no one touching it. A bonus that I would love to see is some sort of Bluetooth connection or a remote, so you don't have to get up in the middle of the night to adjust this thing. One more thing I've noticed about this unit while it's been plugged into this big AC to DC power converter is this thing has stayed cool. It's not hot at all. I have another AC unit, something that's similar to this, but it's just AC, and this power brick gets real hot. This one, it is still room temperature, which is very nice. I'm glad that this thing isn't getting real hot, thus increasing the heat inside the area that you're trying to cool. And before I go, I completely forgot about it, but let's go ahead and plug this directly into a 48-volt battery and see if it operates the exact same way. All right, I went ahead and opened the cooler top to let it kind of warm up a little bit. And I have my XT62 battery connections cable right here. Again, I'll go ahead and find one on Amazon that I can link down in the description. That way you can click on it and get exactly what you need for if you have a 51.2 volt lithium iron phosphate battery. Now this is just a golf cart battery from Timgo, and this will probably power this for a while. My guess would be 9 to 10 hours on the AC and the cooler running at the same time. I've already got it plugged in. Let's go ahead and connect the battery connections. Let's turn on our Timgo app. You can see on the app that the battery is at a 96% state of charge. So let's go ahead and connect these up. The unit again kind of clicked on when I connected that negative connection, but there was no big spark or anything like that. So you don't have to worry about using a resistor or something like that like you would an inverter. All right, so let's go ahead and power this unit on. Go ahead and make sure it's dropped down to the lowest setting for the refrigerator. And it's at the lowest setting for its AC as well. Go ahead and shut this. And I do like how it does have that close shut feature, but I do wish it had some sort of latch so I felt like it was more securely fastened in. And if we look at our TimGo app, we can see that this running right now, it's using 370 watts, and it can run it for 13 hours and 38 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and watch it for 5 minutes just to make sure it doesn't fluctuate up and down in a big fashion. All right, well, I've been watching this unit for a couple minutes, and I actually turned the fan up all the way. On the TimGo app, we're still only using 332 watts. So at 95%, we're still looking at 15 hours of runtime with this thing actively cooling down to a freezer temp and blowing out nice cold AC. In my mind, that's pretty impressive. I can't say anything bad about that. That is not very much wattage for all that you're getting right here. And since you're losing the inefficiencies of converting it from AC to DC, you're pulling it directly from a battery. It gives you just that much more runtime on the amount of battery power that you have. Just think if you had, I don't know, 1,000 watts of solar connected to this battery as well, you could run this thing overnight, and then on a nice sunny day, those panels would most likely charge that battery back up while the unit's still running. So very efficient and a really good solution for an off-grid environment. So if you have any questions about the PeirHW 2-in-1 AC, air conditioner, and fridge freezer combo, please go ahead and leave them in the comments. I'll have a link to this in my description, along with some more information about the Kickstarter event, along with the additional wire I needed to connect directly to a battery. So thank you so much for watching this video, and have a great day. Bye-bye.